Just a year before the arrests in Pendle, the King James Bible was published and laid out in stark words, "Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live." I've come here to Oxford in search of a book, not the King James Bible, but a book James wrote himself.
James I has a reputation as an avid witch hunter and participates personally in trials up in North Berwick. And he believes that witches are trying to kill him. In fact, that the witches tried to sink the boat that he was bringing his wife, Anne of Denmark, back on their honeymoon.
He writes a slim, exciting book called Demonology, which is unique among heads of state in being a sole-authored work upon the nature of hell and what to do about it. And it's pretty popular. It's readable, it's concise, it's learned. It's actually a rather clever piece of work, and it's a mandate to the British to hunt witches.
This is an original 1597 edition of James's Demonology, written, it says here at the beginning, because of the fearful abounding at this time in this country of these detestable slaves of the devil, the witches or enchanters.
James is very much a product of the Presbyterian Kirk in Scotland. Presbyterian ministers who brought James up as Presbyterian in a bid to counteract the influence of his Catholic mother tell him stories all day about the power of the devil. They deliberately scare him, and it works. You can scare a child very easily. They talk him into feeling that he's surrounded by witches.
The demonology might seem a bit like the ramblings of a paranoid man, but as the saying goes, just because you're paranoid, it doesn't mean that they're not out to get you. The religious tensions in England had reached boiling point just 7 years earlier, when the king and his entire parliament had very nearly been blown up by Guy Fawkes and his team of Catholic terrorists in the failed gunpowder plot. And although Fawkes had been captured, some of the conspirators were still at large.
It's perfectly reasonable if you're an early modern monarch to be paranoid about people trying to kill you. And James is one of those monarchs, there's no shortage of potential conspiracies out there.
He's got a dad who's been strangled after an attempt to blow him up, a mother whose head has been hacked off in an English prison, and there have been at least 2 attempts to kidnap him, maybe 1 to murder him. No wonder he's scared. And shortly after he arrives in England, some of his Catholic subjects try to blow him to smithereens, along with the rest of Parliament. He's a king who is exceptionally nervous of conspiracy.
The plotters who were caught were trying to flee to safety, and the place where they expected to find it was Lancashire. In March 1612, local JPs had received an order from London that they were to compile a report of all those who refused to take communion in church in an effort to root out the Lancashire Catholics. It was a crude but hopefully effective loyalty test. All those that do not come to the church and there communicate must be presented and further proceeded against. Fail not herein at your peril. And here, look, one of the order's signatories was Roger Nowell. There's no question about it. On Good Friday, 1612, every loyal subject should have been in church.